What is good, you guys? We are back with another video, and today, we got like a vlog slash analysis video on the first day of NBA Summer League. I watched basically every single game besides the Charlotte Hornets game, and I didn't want to watch the Miami Heat game because after the Detroit Pistons Summer League game finished, they were losing by 30 or like 20. So why would I want to watch that? And I left in the middle of the Lakers game because those two teams were just boring to watch. I only knew two players on the Suns team. I left in the middle of that game. Ended up being an exciting game. Austin Rivers said it a game winner, but I won't be talking about those two games. But everything else, I got y'all, man. If you like this type of content, go and like and sub on the video if you haven't already. Let's get right into it.
Sharif Cooper. Number 4, Skylar Mays. Number 42, Devon Afun-Purcell. Number 1, Jalen Johnson. And number 24, Jordan Bell.
That's a foul.
Bro, that Sharif Cooper pass was so tough, bro. It was so tough. He had some flashes of great passing this game. He had another great pass that I didn't get to show in that clip. But as a whole, Sharif Cooper did not play well this game. Let's not let these highlights fool you. He did not play well. He had a lot of bad decision moments, man, especially at the end of that game. Two inbound turnovers, man. One, trying to throw a oop to Jalen Johnson way too early out of the inbound. And the second one was Skylar Mays' fault, kind of his fault. You can put it either way. Skylar Mays didn't have a good game at all either. But Sharif Cooper didn't hit a lot of mid-ranges. Airball 2 didn't hit a 3. The 3 was not there whatsoever. His finishing was okay. His passing flashes were great, but his decision-making was bad. I think if I had to give him a grade, I'd give him a D on this game, bro. It just wasn't a great game. He also got dropped by Peyton Pritchard. Like, he didn't have a great showing. Let's bounce back next game, Sharif. That end of the game is on him though. Like, they had that game in the bag, and he turned the ball over twice in the inbound, bro. That's terrible. If you're a 6 foot point guard, you have to be great decision makers. You can't be a bad decision maker at 6 foot. Just can't happen. Anyways, Jalen Johnson had a really good game, showed his athleticism to a T, man. He's not great at post-ups. He had a lot of post-up opportunities. If he was decent at post-ups, he would have had 30 points. Because at the beginning of the game, they kept switching Carson Edwards and Peyton Pritchard on him, and he didn't capitalize whatsoever. But on those drives, on those wing drives, on oops, on putbacks, he had one mid-range. Like, he showed himself today, and I love to see it. Number 42, I forgot his name. He was really good. Jordan Bell played decent. Admiral Schofield was getting a lot of rebound shots. All of them, man. Number 26, I forgot his name. Look up number 26 on the Atlanta Hawks. His dad and his sister were sitting right above me, and they were screaming, shouting his name, cheering him on. Shout out to him. Shout out to his family. He has a really good support system around him. Anyways, let's get to the Celtics. Celtics won this game off of Sharif Cooper's turnovers and mistakes, but all in all, they did play a really good game and came back in that second quarter when the Hawks put that bench in. They came back because I think they didn't score. It was like a 12-0 at the beginning of the game, and then number 28, Jan Madar, came in, getting pressure on Sharif Cooper. He had a really good game. Peyton Pritchard shot 15 threes and hit 7 of them, was a sniper today, and like I said, played decent defense on Sharif Cooper as well, and their guards rebounded really, really well today. That's something I noticed. Even on the offensive rebounds, I think Carson Edwards had like 7 at like 6'1". Peyton Pritchard's like 6'3". He had like 8'7". They rebounded really well. Romeo Langford had an okay game. Aaron Nesmith shot decent in the first half. And their second round pick, I forgot his name. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Number 29 shot great in the first half as well. But shout out to Peyton Pritchard for dropping Sharif Cooper, and shout out to them for getting that dub, man.
And that concludes Game 1 here in Thomason Mack Center.
Jericho Sims dub was crazy, bro. Bro, being a UT fan, I love to see Jericho Sims succeed. Bro hit his head on the rim, bro. That pick and roll threat that he is crazy. I'm surprised that they even re-signed both of their centers after getting a guy like Jericho Sims that can be a great, at least third-string big, let alone fourth-string behind Taj, Nerlens, and Mitchell Robinson. Bro is going to come in and take some minutes. I promise you he is. The pick and roll threat, the way he can get above the rim. Not a lot of other people can do it like him. Shout out to Jericho for showing his potential in just the first Summer League game. Let's talk about the rest of these Knicks. First, the rookies. We got Miles McBride. We got Quentin Grimes. And we got that one European. I didn't see a lot from him, but Miles McBride showed his defense and his effort today. Did some decent things on offense, but not great. Quentin Grimes was very inefficient from three, but hit a couple big, decent ones that almost got them back into the game because they were down by like 15, 16, kept fighting, got back and ended at 10. That's what New York Knicks teams do. They fight. And I think Quentin Grimes and Miles McBride, even when they're not hitting, brings that type of grind and effort to the team because Quentin Grimes is a decent defender as well, let alone just a three-point shooter, even though that's what he got drafted for. That's especially what he got drafted for the Knicks for because the Knicks need shooting badly. They got it with Fournier. They got it with Walker. Let's get some on the bench now, and that's what Quentin Grimes is for, and that's also what McBride's for. Let's talk about the two sophomores, man. The two NBA sophomores on this team, Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin showed his wing ability today. I didn't see him at all being much of a pick and roller, nothing like that. He did a lot of stuff driving. He's a lot of catch and shoot threes, pull up mid ranges, and pull up and mid ranges off inbounds. I saw a lot of like small forward type stuff from Obi Toppin in the Summer League. I think that's something that he like put to his mind that like I'm gonna show my guard skills. I'm gonna show Tibbs that I can be on the floor with Julius Randle. I could be on the floor with Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Although I wouldn't do that, but I guess he's just trying to show his versatility, and he did a great job doing that today. I think he had like 20 points, a couple threes, like one or two dunks, a lot of free throws, you know? So he showed his stuff. Emmanuel quickly had an inefficient game, but facilitated really well, showed his floater off as usual, and got to the line a little bit. Shout out to those two. But the Raptors ended up winning this game. Malachi Flynn had 23. Scotty Barnes had 18 and 10. Scotty Barnes was insane on the defensive end, showing all of his length. That entire Toronto Raptors Summer League team was just lengthy. David Johnson, number 45, the dude that was in that video with Scotty Barnes. You got Malachi Flynn. You got Juan Morgan, that was hitting every corner three, it seemed like that Raptors team is going to be something to mess with in this Summer League, and I can't wait to see these rookies play in the real NBA regular season, especially Malachi Flynn. I think Malachi Flynn is going to be a great gem off the bench because he can score, bro. In transition, he can score. He can shoot deep threes, like as you saw in that first clip. Malachi Flynn could be a really good guy off the bench. As Kyle Lowry left, they didn't get Jalen Suggs in the draft, so Gary Trent Jr. goes into the starting lineup, and then you have OG, Pascal, and Kim Birch, and I guess you have Scotty Barnes coming off the bench with Malachi Flynn. I think that's really, really nice, and I like the Raptors' future, man. I like the Raptors' future. All right, the Houston-Cleveland game was my favorite game of the day, by far probably, by far for sure. Jalen Green, tough bucket maker, showed it in his first NBA Summer League game that he hit every tough shot almost, bro. And it started from the beginning, hitting a crazy floater and one. Like, what is that? Every mid-range in the book, drop, bucket. He was just a bucket today. That's all I got. Alfred Sengun showed off all of his moves. He showed off every little spin move, post move that he had on Evan Mobley. Got blocked a couple times, kept it going. Felt like he was at the free throw line all night. Josh Christopher showed his defensive potential today more than anything. Obviously, he scored decently, but not great. He was a little bit inefficient in my opinion. But his defense his defense was great, and I loved his effort today, and that's what you need from a guy. He looks like a guy that understands that he's not the star anymore, and people that are high school phenoms and that been stars their whole life, kind of like Josh Christopher, fail to realize that quickly, and it feels like Josh Christopher has realized that in a very quick fashion, and shout out to him for that, bro. You gotta respect that. Some other people on the team, KJ Martin. KJ Martin was really good, showed some flashes, had some really good blocks on Evan Mobley. Kyrie Thomas was okay, but that's about it, man. Trey Fields, shout out to Trey Fields. He's a big TikToker, and he's on the NBA Summer League team. Didn't play at all, I don't think, but that's just pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You see a guy that makes a whole bunch of content on the NBA Summer League team. That's pretty dope, so shout out to that. And let's get into the Cleveland Cavaliers, bro. Evan Mobley is that guy, bro. Evan Mobley showed some that guy material today. He showed the blocking potential. He showed the potential to just dunk on people at times. Had one mid-range, but he didn't have a great game. I'm not going to say that. Looked like he injured himself for a second, and that kind of scared me, but he got back up, got to the free throw line a couple times. Like I said, got blocked by KJ Martin. I think he's going to be one of those guys, kind of like James Wiseman. Probably not as much as James Wiseman, but he's going to have to learn the physicality a little bit, because I feel like he got physicaled out by Albert Sengun, and he still has to learn the physicality. I think he was even the most physical big on the court today. I feel like that was Sengun. You know, Kevin Gilly was also very physical, a center on his squad. So I think he's had to really learn that, and I think that's why this Jared Allen signing and keeping him as the real 5 is going to help Mobley along the way and kind of build himself into a 5. Kind of like Jaren Jackson Jr., but it'll probably happen a little bit sooner, because I think Mobley is a real 5. But having him at the 4 like they did today, I think that's why they had Capingeli starting, so they can experience how he does at the 4, and I think he did decent. Man. Shout out to Isaac Okoro, bro. Isaac Okoro had a great game. Fast break-wise, great. Had a couple mid-ranges, getting to the basket one time. Lamar Stevens, same thing. He had a really clutch 3 to almost bring him back into the game, but it didn't really matter at the end. The Rockets ended up winning. Shout out to the Rockets, shout out to the Cavs. 2 very fun teams in this summer league, man. Good pass. This was a great game too, man. First of all, shout out to Josh Giddey. Got hurt at the beginning of the game. I think he just left at halftime, though. Had like the first one of the game, big dunk, just ripped right past Kate Cunningham. Didn't see much from him after that, and then we didn't see him after halftime, even on the bench. So shout out to Josh Giddey. Hopefully he gets better. Don't bring him back if he's not ready, because he can be a really integral, important part in the regular season, so you don't need to really risk it in the summer league, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into the game. Shout out to Theo Maledon, bro. He had a great game. He had a great game passing-wise, decent getting to the basket and a couple threes, but passing-wise, he was great to Jeremiah Robinson Earl, the guy from Stanford, Aaron Wiggins had a great game. You know, it was a great all-around performance for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I really love to see it from those young guys. Trey Mann didn't have a great game, but obviously contributed a little bit. It took him a while to get into it. He had like a couple of those shifty moves that everybody loved and fell in love with him with. A couple of those crosses like that, like breaking people, getting people on skates a little bit, but he doesn't finish. He didn't finish a lot of them. I think he only finished for like 4 points. Sucked to see kind of a bad performance from Trey Mann, but it'll get going in the next couple games. But Theo Maledon played great. Jeremiah Robinson Earl played great. The dude from Stanford, I'm blanking on his name. He played really good, and Wiggins played really good. Shout out to those 4 in particular. Charlie Brown, you're a bum, bro. Why are you ruining everybody's highlights? Like, every single time somebody did something and broke somebody, especially Theo Maledon, he could have had 50 assists if it was to anybody but Charlie Brown. He kept selling the highlights, so that's tough, Charlie. I mean, it comes with the name, right? It comes with the name, I guess. But let's talk about the Pistons, man. Killian Hayes Killian Hayes is a guy that in my TikTok video I did like the 7 most guys I'm most excited to watch, and Killian Hayes was in that because I wanted to see how good he was going to be. I felt like he could have been one of those guys that you weren't thinking of, but that could dominate a little bit in the summer league game. He just did not do that whatsoever. He had a decent game, a couple okay baskets. Like the first pass he made was insane. I was like, okay, can he have one of those games? Nope. He didn't. He missed 2 free throws at the end of the game. He was trying to make like a super cold pass at the end to Cade Cunningham, and it went straight out of bounds. Just had a bad game, especially in that second half. Sadiq Bey, it doesn't look like he should even be on the court with these guys. He just looks more skilled and more poised than all of them, but it didn't get them the dub. So, hey, I don't know. Cade Cunningham, he had an okay game. I like him that he's not being on the ball all the time. I kind of like that. They need to feed him on the post ups more because he be calling for it and they just don't give it to him. If you give him a couple post ups, he can get to 20 points easily. His 3 was on, especially at the beginning of the game, as you saw in the clips. But yeah, man, shout out to Cade Cunningham, but shout out to the Thunder for getting that done, man. I thought the Pistons had that in the bag. Especially at the beginning of the game, they were blowing him out. The Pistons were blowing him out. It was like 14-20. I was like, okay, it's done. It's done. And then T.O. went crazy, and Wiggins got in the game. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl woke up after getting 3 early fouls, and it ended up being a really good game for the Thunder. Shout out to all those young guys that are most likely going to contribute on the real team. And yeah, man. All right, you guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like this type of content, go and like a sub on the video if you haven't already. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I only got 2 days of this because, you know, I brother got to go back to school later this week on Thursday, so I can't be at the whole entire summer league. But I'll be doing the same thing tomorrow, getting all these clips up for you guys and then analyzing them when I get home about this same time. So if you like that, like this type of content, go and like a sub on the video if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time.